Hello and welcome to your Robo AI news. The quantum computing landscape is currently a hotbed of accelerated activity, a domain where theoretical frontiers are rapidly translating into tangible engineering progress. The period bridging late May and early June 2025 has been particularly dynamic, marked by significant strides in quantum hardware, innovative software and algorithmic solutions, and a burgeoning ecosystem of enabling technologies. The kickoff of the Optica Quantum 2.0 conference, for instance, has ignited a wave of product showcases, especially in photonics, signaling a palpable maturation of the quantum supply chain. Let's first examine quantum hardware. A major milestone was QuEra Computing's installation of its first gate-based neutral atom quantum computer outside its own labs, now operational at Japan's National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology, or AIST. This system, co-located with the ABCIQ supercomputer, forms a hybrid quantum classical platform aimed at drug discovery, logistics, and climate modeling. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, visiting the new GQuat Research Center housing the system, even declared 2025 as the first year of quantum industrialization. This deployment is a crucial step in integrating quantum hardware with high-performance classical resources, vital for exploring hybrid algorithms. The Optica Quantum 2.0 conference itself is a nexus for photonic advancements. Hamamatsu Photonics is showcasing an array of cutting-edge components. Their first commercial optically pumped magnetometer for detecting ultra-low magnetic fields, ideal for non-cryogenic brain imaging. The Orca Quest 2 QC-MOS camera with enhanced UV quantum efficiency for trapped ion computing, notably offering Arctic integration for synchronized control. And a suite of photomultiplier tubes, single-photon avalanche diodes, LCOS spatial light modulators for optical microtraps, and MEMS mirrors. Their subsidiary, NKT Photonics, is presenting the new Coherus HARMONIK laser, optimized for strontium-based optical clocks and quantum computing. Also at Optica, Covasion is presenting its latest magnesium oxide-doped periodically poled lithium niobate, or MgO-PPLN. These bulk crystals and waveguides are critical for cold atom experiments, entangled photon pair generation, quantum sensing, and frequency conversion in photonic quantum networks. The availability of such specialized, high-performance photonic components from multiple vendors like Hamamatsu and Covasion signals a significant maturation of the photonic quantum technology supply chain, lowering barriers and accelerating development. Academic and national labs continue to deliver foundational breakthroughs. At the University of Chicago's Pritzker School of Molecular Engineering, Professor David Oshalom's team demonstrated that spinel, a common gemstone, can store quantum information, offering a new material candidate for quantum memory. Scientists at Argonne National Laboratory unveiled surface-sensitive spintronic terahertz spectroscopy, a novel technique providing unprecedented insight into how quantum materials behave at interfaces. And Professor Andrew Clenland's lab at Chicago reported high-fidelity entanglement of two physically separate acoustic wave resonators, a step towards distributed quantum systems. The pivotal role of Josephson junctions in superconducting quantum computing was underscored in a recent technical paper from a consortium including Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory and UC Berkeley. The paper emphasizes that synergistic progress in material science, device characterization, and nanofabrication is critical to catalyze the next wave of breakthroughs. This focus is echoed in research investigating sapphire substrates as an alternative to silicon for superconducting qubits, aiming to reduce energy losses and improve coherence. Recent archive submissions further this, with one paper exploring the fluxonium qubit as a control element for bosonic quantum information, suggesting advantages over transmons in certain regimes. Another detailed schemes for extending the dephasing times of nuclear spins in nitrogen vacancy centers in diamond, vital for quantum sensors and memory. Now, let's turn to quantum algorithms, software, and the crucial field of quantum error correction. A landmark announcement came from Nord Quantique on May 29th. They successfully developed bosonic qubit technology with multimode encoding, utilizing an advanced bosonic code known as the tesseract code. This approach demonstrably reduces the qubit overhead for quantum error correction. Their system, encoding qubits across multiple resonance frequencies within an aluminum cavity, showed excellent stability, with no measurable decay observed through 32 error correction cycles. The tesseract code protects against common errors and, critically, can detect leakage errors. Nord Quantique projects this could enable solving complex problems like RSA 830 in just 1 hour using approximately 120 kilowatt-hours of energy. They aim for systems with over 100 logical qubits by 2029. This is a significant stride from theoretical QEC to concrete engineering. The quantum threat to classical cryptography continues to spur research. A study by Google quantum AI researcher Craig Gidney suggests RSA 2048 encryption could potentially be broken in under a week with fewer than 1 million noisy qubits, an order of magnitude reduction from previous estimates. His calculations leverage algorithmic innovations and a model termed yoked surface codes. While the hardware is beyond current reach, it aligns with some company roadmaps, underscoring the urgency of transitioning to post-quantum cryptography. In quantum software, the Munich Quantum Toolkit introduced the first routing-aware placement method for zoned neutral atom architectures, achieving an average 17% reduction in atom rearrangement time. Such specialized hardware-aware tools are crucial for optimizing NISQ devices. The open-source library PennyLane now allows operators to accommodate multiple decomposition strategies, enhancing flexibility for tailoring computations to specific hardware. And IBM's Qiskit is actively progressing towards version 2.1.0, with their global summer school set to cover topics from foundational concepts to advanced QEC and algorithms. Numerous archive preprints from late May highlight this dynamism. Researchers proposed a quantum Hilbert transform for quantum steganography, new scalable decoding protocols for the surface code offering speedups for transversal logic, a theory of sample importance for data-driven QEC decoding, an extension of the low-degree method to quantum learning, a hybrid algorithm for optimizing QUBO problems using an imaginary time evolution mimicking circuit, an efficient quantum approximate k-nearest neighbors algorithm via granular ball computing, and even a proposal for quantum-based software engineering, applying quantum techniques to classical software problems. The ecosystem is further invigorated by emerging entities. Sigaldry Technologies, co-founded by quantum veterans Chad Rigetti and Idalia Friedson, aims to rethink AI infrastructure by developing hybrid quantum-accelerated AI servers. Their strategy focuses on integrating multiple qubit modalities within a fault-tolerant architecture to tackle AI's escalating energy consumption and performance bottlenecks, a targeted approach that may offer a rapid path to demonstrating quantum utility. Aliro Quantum continues to advance entanglement-based quantum networks with its AliroNet platform, recently securing an agreement with the Air Force Research Laboratory to simulate and operate such infrastructure. This signals growing defense and enterprise interest in quantum-secure communications and distributed quantum sensing. Academic groups remain pivotal. At the University of Chicago, Professor Liang Zheng developed a new scheme to send a full qubit's worth of information through quantum transducers, vital for hybrid quantum networks. Assistant Professor Tian Zhang outlined a plan for entangling light and memory for high-speed, long-distance quantum information transfer. And Quantum Computing Incorporated, or QCI, recently secured a NASA contract and is active in thin-film lithium niobate for photonic components, bolstering the specialized manufacturing segment of the quantum industry. Influential research continues to shape theoretical and experimental frontiers. The Josephson Junctions perspective paper, as mentioned, reinforces the need for interdisciplinary R&D. Theoretical and algorithmic advances in quantum error correction, such as scalable decoding for surface codes and improved data-driven decoding, are critical for engineering fault-tolerant systems. Specialized quantum algorithms are also targeting specific scientific problems. Fluxonium as a control qubit for bosonic quantum information demonstrates enhanced control methods. Quantum simulations of charge and exciton transfer report successful simulations of chemical dynamics using trapped ion systems on commercial hardware. Meta-level research, like reviews of networked quantum services and proposals for quantum-based software engineering, suggests the field is maturing, looking at larger system architectures and broader impacts. What about applied quantum research and milestone applications? While universal quantum advantage is still sought, current efforts are showing promise. A systematic review of quantum computing in healthcare, analyzing nearly 5,000 papers, concluded that applications remain largely theoretical. Only a small fraction tested algorithms under realistic hardware conditions, neglecting noise and error mitigation. This reality check calls for new standards for evaluating quantum health applications. However, targeted development persists. At Stony Brook University, Yifan Zhou is leveraging quantum computing, AI, and power systems engineering to tackle power grid optimization. A preprint by Akshat Tandon proposed a hybrid quantum reservoir computing approach for corrosion prediction in aerospace materials, outperforming classical methods. And research by Amar Kirmani detailed variational quantum simulations of a frustrated transverse field Ising model on a Quantinuum H1-1 trapped ion computer, successfully recovering the system's magnetic phases. This validates the use of commercial quantum hardware for complex scientific simulations. In quantum networking and security, Aliro Quantum's work with the Air Force Research Lab on entanglement-based networks is key. At Optica Quantum 2.0, IB Quantique is showcasing a novel parallel superconducting nanowire single-photon detector architecture, critical for advanced quantum communication. Research into aerial quantum networks using drones or satellites aims to overcome range limitations of fiber-based quantum key distribution, or QKD. And Craig Gidney's refined RSA cracking estimates continue to amplify the urgency for migrating to post-quantum cryptography. An article in SiliconANGLE stressed that organizations must prepare for Q-Day with a three-phase migration strategy: discovery, mitigation, and management. The release of NIST's first PQC standards is the starting gun. Synthesizing these developments, several clear trends emerge. First, an accelerating transition from lab to application. We see on-premises deployments like QuEra's, startups like Sigildry targeting specific markets, and applied research tackling real-world problems. Second, the indispensability of co-design and specialization. Hardware, software, and algorithms are developed in concert, tailored to specific qubit modalities or problem types like Nord Quantique's QEC or MQT's neutral atom tools. Third, the maturation of the quantum ecosystem and supply chain. The advanced photonic components from Hamamatsu and Covision, QCI's Foundry, and robust open-source software like PennyLane and Qiskit are testament to this. And fourth, quantum error correction is palpably shifting from theory to an applied engineering challenge, with Nord Quantique's work leading the charge. While the healthcare study injects necessary realism, the sheer breadth of tangible advancements across hardware, software, QEC, and early applications suggests vigorous forward momentum. The quantum field appears to be pursuing a dual track: the grand challenge of universal fault-tolerant quantum computers and a pragmatic focus on specialized quantum devices or hybrid systems offering near-term utility for high-value problems. Both paths are vital. In conclusion, the quantum computing landscape as seen in late May and early June 2025 is characterized by dynamic progress and increasing sophistication. The convergence of industry showcases, research publications, and startup activity underscores an accelerating innovation cycle. Hardware is advancing with new system deployments and a maturing component supply chain. Software tools are becoming more specialized and hardware-aware. Quantum error correction is transitioning to an engineering reality. And emerging entities are pioneering targeted application strategies. While the journey to widespread fault-tolerant quantum computing remains substantial, the consistent, multifaceted progress confirms that the global quantum endeavor is robust, increasingly application-oriented, and steadily building the foundations for future technological revolutions. The quantum computing sector is a high-wire act, a domain where profound scientific ambition meets the unforgiving realities of financial markets. The period spanning May 30th to June 1st, 2025 has vividly illustrated this tension, showcasing a landscape characterized by significant stock volatility, strategic capital flows, and an intensifying race towards practical quantum utility. Let's dissect the market pulse. Pure-play quantum companies continue to ride a veritable roller coaster. IonQ, for instance, saw its stock surge an impressive 57.8% over the past month, yet its year-to-date gain is a more modest 3.4%. This reflects burgeoning investor confidence, but it is set against a backdrop of deep unprofitability. IonQ's first quarter 2025 net loss was $32.3 million, and its adjusted EBITDA loss widened due to a 38% year-over-year jump in operating expenses. Valuation remains a significant concern, with a forward price-to-sales ratio soaring at 91.76, dramatically above the sector average. Analysts, however, see revenues projected to grow 97% year-over-year in 2025, and the stock holds a Zacks rank number 2, a buy, albeit a higher-risk, higher-return proposition. QUBT, Quantum Computing Incorporated, faced a steeper decline on Friday, May 30th, falling over 9% to close around $11.25. This was attributed to a first-quarter revenue miss, reporting just $39,000 versus a $100,000 forecast. More critically, an ongoing investigation by Moore Law into alleged fraudulent activities and exaggerated NASA affiliations continues to cast a long shadow. These allegations previously triggered a nearly 15% stock drop. QUBT's price-to-sales ratio is astronomical, around 4,831, underscoring its speculative nature. Despite these headwinds, QUBT is slated to join the Russell 3000 index in late June, an event that could potentially increase trading volume. Rigetti Computing, ticker RGTI, also traded down significantly on May 30th, closing around $12. This despite announcing a surprise first-quarter profit of 13 cents per share. The market, however, zeroed in on revenue, which fell to $1.5 million from $3.1 million year-over-year, missing forecasts. In stark contrast, D-Wave Quantum, trading under QBTS, while down slightly on May 30th, is up over 95% year-to-date and has delivered a remarkable return of over 1,000% in the past year. The company recently announced the general availability of its Advantage 2 quantum computer and reported strong first-quarter results with record revenue of $15 million, up 509% year-over-year, and a significantly reduced net loss. Analysts have responded positively, with B. Riley maintaining a buy and Benchmark raising its target price. Even the tech behemoths are deeply engaged. Microsoft, with its stock up nearly 8% over the past month, continues its quantum efforts through Azure Quantum and the development of its Majorana 1 topological qubit chip, all backed by $80 billion in cash reserves. IBM announced a colossal $150 billion investment in the U.S. over 5 years, including over $30 billion in R&D for mainframe and quantum computer manufacturing. Alphabet, parent of Google, continues its work with the Sycamore and Willow quantum chips. The acute sensitivity of Qubit and RGTI to revenue misses, even when Rigetti posted an unexpected profit, highlights the market's current obsession with top-line growth for these early-stage quantum firms. Any doubt cast on future growth can disproportionately hammer sentiment, especially when valuations are sky-high. The sector is also vulnerable to broader tech pronouncements. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's earlier cautious remarks about the timeline for a useful quantum computer reportedly sent valuations of leading quantum companies plummeting. D-Wave's recent success, however, offers a counter-narrative. Tangible commercial progress and improving financials can sharply differentiate a company. Now, let's examine the investment and funding landscape. Venture capital remains active. Harper Court Ventures Fund launched on May 29, a $25 million early-stage fund by MFV Partners dedicated to supporting startups from the University of Chicago ecosystem, with a keen focus on quantum computing, AI, and other deep tech. This initiative aims to solidify Chicago as a deep tech hub, translating academic research into commercial ventures. New quantum startups are also attracting attention. Sigildry Technologies, co-founded by quantum industry veterans Chad Rigetti and Idalia Friedson, is part of Y Combinator's Spring 2025 cohort. Sigildry aims to tackle AI's escalating energy and hardware demands by developing hybrid quantum-accelerated AI servers, integrating multiple qubit modalities within a fault-tolerant architecture. This highlights the critical trend of talent migration founding new ventures and the intense focus on the quantum AI synergy. Strategic partnerships are also shaping the field. LexRock AI Technologies and PinkQ, Quebec's platform for digital and quantum innovation, announced a collaboration to bolster Canada's digital ecosystem, promoting ethical AI, cybersecurity, and environmentally responsible computing. PinkQ is also partnering with Distreak, the Sherbrooke Quantum Innovation Zone, signaling a broader strategic push in Canadian quantum technology. Internationally, the joint venture between Quantinuum and Qatar's Al Raban Capital remains a landmark. Announced in mid-May, this partnership involves an investment of up to $1 billion to expand quantum technologies and workforce development in both the U.S. and Qatar, part of a larger U.S.-Qatar commercial agreement. This deal underscores the substantial international capital and geopolitical significance attached to quantum leadership. Publicly traded quantum companies are also actively raising capital. D-Wave Quantum announced on May 29 that it generated approximately $80.5 million from warrant exercises, further strengthening its already solid financial position. Quantum Computing Incorporated, in its first quarter results, disclosed raising $93.6 million in net proceeds through a private placement, significantly boosting its cash reserves to $166.4 million, crucial liquidity despite its minimal operational revenue. Intellectual property is another key financial battleground. Spectral Capital, a private company, is aggressively pursuing a portfolio of 500 patents by mid-2025 in quantum computing and ultra-high-performance AI systems. This strategy aims to establish a defensible competitive advantage in the rapidly evolving quantum AI landscape. The emergence of specialized investment vehicles offers new avenues for quantum exposure. VanEck launched Europe's first ETF specifically focused on quantum computing in May 2025. The VanEck Quantum Computing UCTF ETF, ticker QNTM. Listed on the Deutsche Börse and London Stock Exchange, with a modest initial $1 million in assets under management and a total expense ratio of 0.55%, QNTM tracks the Market Vector Global Quantum Leaders Index. It holds 30 companies active across the quantum value chain, including pure plays like IonQ and Rigetti, large firms like Alphabet and IBM, and leading patent holders. VanEck rightly warns of the high-risk nature, citing market concentration and the early-stage development of most constituents. This ETF's launch, despite some industry observers deeming it too early, attempts to meet growing investor curiosity. Its future AUM will be a barometer for broader market appeal. Let's delve deeper into company-specific financial disclosures. IonQ's first quarter revenue of $7.6 million was above its guidance midpoint. The company forecasts full-year 2025 revenue between $75 and $95 million. However, its $32.3 million net loss, though narrowed by a $38.5 million non-cash gain on warrant liabilities, saw its adjusted EBITDA loss widen to $35.8 million due to heavy R&D investment. A key commercial milestone was a $22 million deal with EPB, a Tennessee utility, for an IonQ Forte Enterprise quantum computer and network, IonQ's first commercial system sale. Strategic acquisitions and quantum networking also signal forward momentum. Quantum Computing Incorporated's first quarter saw revenue of just $39,000, missing forecasts. Its reported net income of $17 million was primarily due to a $23.6 million non-cash gain from warrant liability valuation. Its operating loss actually widened to $8.3 million. The completion of its quantum photonic chip foundry in Tempe, Arizona, with 5 initial orders, is a crucial infrastructure milestone. A post-quarter subcontract from NASA, valued around $406,000, provides some validation. Rigetti Computing reported a surprise first-quarter profit of 13 cents per share, but revenue of $1.5 million was a significant miss. The market reacted negatively to the revenue shortfall, highlighting investor prioritization of top-line growth at this stage. D-Wave Quantum, however, reported a record $15 million in first-quarter revenue, a 509% year-over-year increase, largely driven by the first sale of an Advantage system to a research institution. Its net loss significantly narrowed to $5.4 million. With $304 million in cash and an additional $80 million from recent warrant exercises, D-Wave's financial footing appears strong. These multi-million-dollar contracts are pivotal, providing crucial validation of commercial applicability. Microsoft and IBM do not break out specific quantum financials, but their immense resources and long-term commitments provide a stable foundation for their quantum programs. Microsoft's $80 billion in cash reserves and IBM's $30 billion R&D allocation for mainframe and quantum ensure sustained investment. Government initiatives continue to be powerful shapers of the quantum landscape. In the U.S., lawmakers and experts are urging Congress to double federal quantum funding in fiscal year 2026 to maintain competitiveness, particularly with China. This comes as parts of the National Quantum Initiative Act of 2018 have expired. The White House's current budget proposal suggests flat funding, raising concerns. The Bipartisan Quantum Sandbox for Near-Term Applications Act aims to establish public-private test beds to accelerate quantum application development in sectors like manufacturing, energy, and defense. Federal agencies also continue to award contracts. QBT's NASA subcontract and IonQ's selection for DARPA's Quantum Benchmarking Initiative are examples. Internationally, Japan's National Quantum Strategy saw a milestone with QuEra's neutral atom computer installation at AIST, forming a hybrid quantum classical platform. Quebec's PNQ2 is fostering a regional quantum ecosystem through partnerships. And the U.S. Cotter joint venture with Quantinuum highlights how national strategic interests are driving large-scale quantum investments. Synthesizing these market activities, several clear trends emerge. First, the persistent tension between speculative valuations and tangible commercial progress. While immense future potential fuels high price-to-sales ratios for many pure plays, the market sharply punishes revenue misses and rewards concrete sales and improving financials, as D-Wave's performance illustrates. Second, the race for talent and intellectual property is intensifying. Spectral Capital's patent strategy and the workforce development components of major investments reflect this. Third, hybrid quantum classical systems are the pragmatic path forward for near-term advantage. Amazon Bracket, IBM's Kookaburra, D-Wave's hybrid solvers, and the QuEra AIST deployment all underscore this. Fourth, specific emerging applications and use cases are gaining traction, particularly in AI acceleration, material science, finance, and secure communications. Startups like Sigildry are laser-focused on the quantum AI nexus. Fifth, robust ecosystem development is crucial. Cloud access to quantum hardware, strategic partnerships, and standardization initiatives are all vital. The rise of ancillary providers, from foundries like QBT's to software toolmakers, offers diverse investment angles. Legal and regulatory headwinds, like the investigation into QBT, serve as cautionary tales, signaling increased scrutiny as the sector matures. And, despite concerns about a quantum winter, the continued flow of diverse capital suggests sustained commitment. In conclusion, the quantum computing sector's financial landscape, as observed in late May 2025, is a dynamic arena of high stakes and high rewards. Pure-play stocks remain exceptionally sensitive to news, with the market scrutinizing progress towards profitability. Yet, investment from venture capital, public markets, and international partnerships continues unabated, driven by the technology's transformative promise. Government policies globally underscore quantum's strategic importance, with a clear shift towards applied research and commercialization. Key trends point to a pragmatic focus on hybrid systems, the critical role of AI in driving quantum applications, and the burgeoning interest in specific use cases like AI acceleration and materials discovery. While the path to fault-tolerant universal quantum computers is long and fraught with uncertainty, the sustained investment and early commercial successes signal a sector resolutely moving forward, navigating the complexities of financial markets while building the foundations of a future quantum-powered economy.